Alright guys, today I'm bringing you a legendary item guide in Borderlands 3, and in this video we'll be looking at the Vladof assault rifle known as the Lucian's Call. The red text on the weapon reads, "What happened?" And what's special about this weapon is if you hit a critical hit with it, you'll return 2 bullets to your magazine. And similar to the trait you'll find on most Jacob's weapons, if you hit a critical hit, then this bullet will ricochet 2 bullets to the nearest enemies. There's actually 2 ways you can get this weapon, I believe. The first is by defeating the boss known as Bluefire, who can be found on the Slaughter Star 3000. The Slaughter Star 3000 is one of the wave-based arenas, and in order to unlock it you want to head to Desolation's Edge and go to this location on the map where you'll find a side mission. The side mission doesn't seem to pop up on the map unless you are close to the side mission, so you just want to head to this area on the map after you complete the game, and then you'll find that this side mission is here for you to pick up. This will basically ask you to go to Sanctuary to navigate to Slaughter Star 3000, use the drop pod to drop in, then you can start doing this wave-based arena. Bluefire appears in round 5, wave 5. The best way to farm Bluefire is to get to round 5, and then before you completely finish wave 5, you want to make sure that you've killed Bluefire so you have that chance for Lucian's Call to drop. And then if the wave is still going, then you want to kill yourself so it restarts, but you'll restart at the beginning of round 5. This basically means that you only have to go through round 5 opposed to rounds 1 through 5 in order to farm Bluefire once. However, there are some bugs circulating at the minute. For example, at the beginning of wave 5, Bluefire won't spawn when he's supposed to, and then if you go on and kill some enemies, he might spawn, but then killing these enemies might also end the wave. There also seems to be a bug that if you kill enemies at the beginning of a wave really quickly, then it sort of decides to bug the entire arena, whereby basically the wave will end early even though there's enemies still to kill, and then further waves after that will also end prematurely. This can be extremely frustrating because this means if Bluefire doesn't spawn immediately on wave 5 and then you're killing enemies in order to get him to spawn, you're more likely than not going to have the wave end before Bluefire actually spawns. If this does happen, you still can clear all the enemies and then get Bluefire to spawn and kill him for that chance, but this does mean that you'll have to restart the entire arena again and go from wave 1, which it gets really frustrating when you're trying to farm Bluefire like this, because it more than often does happen. However, there is another method to get the Lucian's Call, and that's by farming things called lootograms, which drop from Dinklebot on the Skywell 27. When you spawn into Skywell 27, you just want to follow where I'm going on screen and also the map that's in the top right to also help you in where to go. Dinklebot can spawn to the left of this dump truck, and in order to farm him, we'll be using a spawn point just into the facility that you can get by just walking in slightly, and it'll be to your left. And then when you spawn in, you want to just turn to the right and go pretty much straight to this dump truck and see if he spawns. Dinklebot is a rare spawn, so he won't always spawn all the time, but the lootogram drop is a guaranteed drop, so if you do get Dinklebot to spawn, then you've basically guaranteed yourself a lootogram. A lootogram takes up a space in your inventory, so you want to make sure that you have as much inventory space when you start to farm him, just so you don't have to keep going back and forth in exchanging these lootograms. But once you've got enough or you finish farming, then you want to head to Sanctuary and head to Earl, and Earl will have an option where you can press Q to exchange all of your lootograms. Pressing Q will just consume all the lootograms and spit out a load of weapons on the floor. Any of these weapons have a chance to be the Lucian's Call, as well as many others, but the drop chance seems to be low for any legendaries in the first place. However, if you're on PC, I have an incendiary and a corrosive version in a save file linked in the description if you want to save yourself the hassle of actually going through this farm. I'll either release a video or update the description to say if these bugs have been fixed in the future. But as of right now, if you're on PC, that option's available to you, and for console players, I'm sorry. This gun could come in Incendiary, Corrosive, and Cryo, and it's an extremely good weapon. It seems to be a very sought after weapon for the flat crit build, simply because of its ability. If you hit a critical hit, then it's going to return 2 bullets to your magazine, so whilst you're using fadeaway with this weapon, you've basically got infinite ammo. And as well as that, you'll have a load of ricocheted bullets going every which way to nearby enemies, so you can get a lot of damage off on not only the enemy you're shooting, but also the unfortunate enemies who will be barraged by the amount of ricocheted bullets that you're ricocheting. As well as this ability doesn't just activate in fadeaway, obviously it's its own ability, so as long as you're getting critical hits with this weapon, then you can effectively get infinite ammo. This makes it a very good weapon against bosses. You can still use it against mobs on characters other than flak, but you'll have to be getting those critical hits in order to get the most use out of it. That being said, the magazine size is relatively high anyway, so you could just still use this weapon without having to try and focus on getting this regenerating ammo. But going after critical hits is probably the most effective way of using this weapon. With it being a flat off weapon, the fire rate is very high, so again this really contributes to the DPS that you're able to do with this weapon. Even on Mayhem 3 when I was running around, you could see in the gameplay the damage that I was doing is still very high. Obviously shields got in the way a bit, and obviously with this version that I was using being incendiary, shields resist incendiary, so I was doing a lot less damage against shields, but still I was still doing a lot of damage if their shield had depleted or if they had no shield in the first place. I would definitely say this gun is the best to play on flak, just because with a flat crit build you can get a chance chance to hit critical hits while hitting the body, and this means you don't really have to focus on hitting a critical hit spot. You could just aim at the enemy, and then if your luck pulls through, you'll be hitting those critical hits and you'll be regenerating ammo at the same time. Other than that, there's nothing really else I can say about this weapon. This is definitely a weapon you'll want to pick up, so if you're on PC, link in the description, and if you're on consoles, I wish you the best of luck. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you found this useful. Make sure to subscribe for future legendary item guides on my channel, and yeah, see you in the next video.